Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Not Quite Cinema, where we talk to movies and shows that grab our eyes, turn off our brains, make a few folks out there say, that is not quite cinema. Jeremy, I had to do the intro really fast because I'm very excited to talk about something and share my thoughts on the Boba Fett series. Do you want to hop right into it? I'll let you start off, and so I'll bounce off you. All right. So
Okay.
go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead.
just let's give a little itinerary here. We'll talk Boba Fett series wrap up. We got our finale this week, episode 7 of Peacemaker. We are doing a little countdown here, Ben, of the Batman movies leading up to I believe it's March 3rd or 4th that Batman comes out. So super exciting. This week we've got the Michael Keaton films.
Let's go.
Michael Keaton, really excited. And then we've got our Oscar nominations. But yeah, we can start with Boba Fett. For me, I don't know. This kind of fell a little short. I wasn't really, and I think this goes into like an expectations game. I wasn't expecting like a huge amount, but honestly, it was the same issue with like the speed bike chase that we saw earlier. It just, the fight moved so slow like the entire time. That was my biggest issue with this episode. How did you feel about the finale?
My biggest issue is that it was bad. No. I'm just joking. I felt like God, I felt that it was really sluggish.
Yeah.
It was like I was I don't want to say it's like my expectations like kind of hindered my enjoyment of the episode,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like I'd expect something, but it was just so sluggish and slow at the beginning, where you're like, oh my god, all this stuff has to happen, and then they do it in like a way that's just like, oh, it just happened.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. They don't really. Okay, they really just ignore the parts that I wanted to see more of.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see more standoffish Cad Bane moments. I wanted to see more Boba Fett, you know.
yeah.
And we got a decent amount of action with Boba. Like, we should say that. Like, we did. We got some pretty good action with him and Mando. Like, that was pretty cool. But
So-
honestly, my biggest thing with this battle, the side characters just didn't hit for me. The cyber teens don't get redemption. You texted me that this week. Like,
I watched it for you, Jeremy, and I said, have you watched it? You said no, and I didn't provide any other information other than cyber teens don't do it for me. It's like there's no redemption in like their like storytelling ability within this. And then the spin move, it's all over Twitter, man. All the spin move.
I feel bad because I mean there are a lot of unnecessary spins in Star Wars in general, but like I don't know, was that entirely necessary? No,
Yeah.
it just looks so ridiculous.
I wrote down my thoughts for it, right? It's just like a basic review. It's just like so much of the show is defined by like big like moments. You know, you're not meant to expect. I feel like by the end of episode 2, you're meant to be like, okay, this is like a moment-driven show. You know, you're not meant to be encapsulated from scene to scene kind of thing. You're just waiting for that like, oh shit moment, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, it does. I think a lot of this show went in with was trying to fill in gaps, and I think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Is these like big events that fill in the gaps? But go on.
I mean, I said that the only real story to be found is like Mando and Grogu. Really?
I agree.
It's I mean, because what was Boba's story? He tried to rise to power. People didn't like that, and then he fought him.
Yeah, pretty much. And I the whole time he was like, "These are my people. Like this is my city." I'm like, "Is it? These people turned on you and
I know.
wanted you out."
The thing is, it was very confusing to be like, "This is my city." I'm like, what are you trying to do here?
Seriously, I was just
Like, what's the motivation for you ruling
Exactly.
this place?
Exactly. I would have rather a story where he had gone back to Camino.
No.
Like
Those long neck motherfuckers.
Yeah,
oh my
literally.
God.
But I'm just like, I don't know. This series left me a lot with. I mean, of course, we released our scores. Like you gave it a 7.7. I gave it a 7.5, and it really just.
I have to clarify something about my score. My 7.7. I was telling Luke, who's going to be on the show next week. I was telling Luke, hey, the only reason I gave it a 7.7 was I think it got like a full point to point and a half by involving the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Absolutely, it did.
That 2 episode stretch accounted for like that point and a half that I give it. If I were to be like, okay, may give it the benefit of the doubt, and if those 2 episodes with Mando were just Boba instead,
Yeah.
if they were just Boba, this series would have been like a 6.5.
Yeah,
for me.
100%. I definitely went in scoring this, and I was like, this is probably where it's going to land, is like a 65, 60%. But I mean, yeah, like you said, those 2 episodes, like the Mandalorian lore episode, where we see all these cameos, that episode, it really just brought the series back for me. And yeah, I mean, in the truest sense, Boba became a footnote in this series. Like, I really didn't care about his character.
Because when you think about it right now, what are people talking about?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian season 3.
I'm super excited where this leaves us.
Yeah,
in their story. I'm really excited to see Mandalorian season 3. And the last thing I'll note last thing I really have to say about Boba Fett is I loved the King Kong moment that we got.
I totally noticed that. I was like,
movie,
like King Kong.
I
when he was
looked at
climbing
it,
up the
yeah,
thing.
I'm like, this is really blatant.
Oh no! The thing that really pushed it over the edge of like shoving it in your face as a reference was when when the Rancor climbed up that tower, and then he's climbing up, and then you're like, oh, he's kind of climbing up like King Kong, and then he like leans off the building and goes like a big fucking ape or something, and I'm like, oh,
it, and he does the like, and I'm like,
okay,
that's
I get
blatant. You're
Yeah.
shoving it. To me.
There was, oh my god, Jeremy, I have to talk about this one editing part. I just gotta say,
Go ahead.
Robert Rodriguez is he's not my favorite Star Wars director.
Fair enough.
I mean,
there's
but
a lot
yeah,
out there that doesn't work for me.
He really wanted to push forward colorful Star Wars.
They just don't fit.
They don't fit.
They just
But
don't fit.
there was a part within the show, it was at the end where I think Mando was fighting the Rancor, or it was something to do with the Rancor, right? No, I think it was when the Rancor was fighting that second robot.
Yeah.
Right after the rebels or whatever were behind that wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a part where the Rancor got the shield down or whatever, right? And then they all stop shooting.
Yeah, as soon as he gets on top of him, they stop shooting.
There's a specific cut. There's a specific cut where the shield goes down and it's fighting, and he throws it, and then it just cuts back to them looking over the wall like this.
Yeah,
just like
I
that.
remember that shot, and I was just sitting there. I'm like,
I said,
well,
shoot it!
What are we doing?
I was yelling, shoot the fucking
Why are
thing!
we just standing here looking at it?
I laughed because I'm like, bro, they're actually just watching the show right now, like me.
They really are. Yeah, it definitely felt like a piece of the story just stopped moving when the camera wasn't on them.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest criticism going out of this show that I think kind of encapsulates all my other criticisms is like, this show just can't decide what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, it just really could. Did it want to be a lead in for Mandalorian season 3? Did it want to be a Western? Did it want to, meld all these different kinds of Star Wars material? Like, I just don't think it ever really figured out the tone. It just didn't.
It's like the story. The first 2 stories, I feel like if you were to tell it from an editing aspect, it should have started with Boba in the desert. It shouldn't have cut to him in the palace yet. They should have told that Tusken story maybe in an episode, possibly an episode and a half, and then put it right back into the present time. Because the flashbacks for me kind of it killed momentum to say, all right, he's here. And then flashback for those 2 episodes and be like, oh, by the way, he was really good friends with the Tuskens. Where did that come back? I mean, the antagonist of the story was meant to be the Pike Syndicate, right?
Yeah.
But he just he was on screen 2 times.
Yeah, my thing, this big reveal of the Pikes actually, they killed your Tusken family. I'm like, I don't really get the sense that he cares all that much.
No,
I get that it's his core motivator and that's cool, but honestly, yeah, I think motivation is my biggest issue with Boba's character. I just don't know what is motivating him to do what he's doing at all. Is it just being a bounty hunter and being dangerous? I just don't get that, honestly.
I'm gonna say my final thought, and you can add on to it if you like.
I'm done.
Okay, but it was. I mean, we had a lot of action in this last episode.
We did,
but a lot of it goes into that. It was kind of unmotivated.
It was.
I mean, a lot of it was just shoot, explosion. Let's cut back to Boba.
It's action for action's sake.
I know. I'm like, oh, well, why? I'm being like, well, what does that do? How does that affect the people? How does that affect the characters? And they were just running, right? And I'm like, and it goes back to the thing about motivation. Like, why are we doing this right now? Why is this happening to us?
Like it tried to make it a street level story.
Yeah.
And it is, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. Some parts of this just don't like. It just was an uncomfortable final fight.
Yeah.
I was just like, this seems.
Man, we have nothing but bad things to say about this.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I did enjoy it.
I did enjoy
it.
And
The mindless fun was fun, and it was Star Wars, and we got to see Mandalorian and the Grogu reunion.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. It is a 7.7. You know, it might win something. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's where it's at for me too. That like it might win something. You know, we'll see. You know, it's Star Wars. Eventually, you're gonna get something for Star Wars.
Absolutely.
But nothing super special for me. Are you want to move on to Peacemaker?
R.I.P. Cad Bane? Yeah, let's move
Oh
on to
yeah,
Peacemaker.
we just ignored that.
Yeah, Cad Bane totally fucked up.
I just. I mean, that was such a cool character for me in the Clone Wars, and I don't know, they did him dirty. I feel like with this episode,
they just had to find a way to be like. Also, this is what happened to Cad Bane.
Yeah.
In case you like, because he was in the Bad Batch, right? I didn't watch the show.
I think for like I didn't finish it, but I think at the very end, he showed up.
He was in the Bad Batch. Yeah. So I bet everyone's like, "Oh, where's Cad Bane now?" or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, I would have liked to get a little better of a story from him. Like, I would have liked him have gotten a little like more involved a little earlier on.
Yeah.
I think that would have made it a little more compelling.
Cool.
But
all right, but let's move on to Peacemaker.
Wow. This episode, man. First of all, the start is, I wrote down, it is gut-wrenching. That was really sad. Like, if you get into this episode, you are actually going to get sad in these moments. Like, that is a hardcore origin story. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. The obvious satisfying moments. I loved to see a solid beatdown of a racist. That was awesome.
Oh my God.
That was great.
Everyone coming together, and he just, I mean, I would have shot him way earlier. But Peacemaker being like, just letting him talk and then crying and then shooting. I was like,
yeah, I think
John Cena's like a really good actor.
He is. I'm like, I still like, I'm convinced already that I've gotten 6 episodes of good acting from John Cena, and I'm still surprised. Like, he's still reaching new heights for me. I'm like, whoa, the emotion.
Oh my God! I've been watching this for like 6 episodes already. Why I'm still saying it?
Yeah, but oh my gosh, that first scene really set the tone for the whole episode. Like, in this episode, just quick rattling off the things that we got. Mern's dead. Mern's just completely dead. Augie is dead. Eagly almost died.
I gasped when
honestly,
smacked Eagly to the ground.
I was kind of scared because I was like, is Vigilante about to die here?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, James Gunn.
Yeah, I know. That was the thing, is I was going into this series, going into this episode, and especially seeing the tone that they set, I was like, oh my God, nobody is safe. Like, so all these characters could die right here.
Yeah.
Like, I do like still what they're doing with Leota's character. I think I just feel bad for her.
Yeah.
I
mean, tough situation.
Yeah.
Tough situation.
Yeah.
You lose your job at the dog shelter. What's your next option? Mercenary, right? That's it.
Your mom's Amanda Waller. What are you supposed to do?
Come on. If you're good at it, you're good at it, right?
Yeah. I do, like, the one parallel that I kind of found when I was watching this was Mern dying. For the team, it very much feels like that moment in the first Avengers movie where Phil Coulson dies.
Brings them all together.
Yeah, it's
I was
like,
kind of feeling that
that's
too.
the push that they needed.
Yeah,
like
it bring them all together. Everyone's like, Mern, and then
also Harcourt is becoming one of my favorites in this show.
Yeah. She's her hard shell is kind of becoming like you're breaking down that wall.
Yeah,
you know, it's like all these characters are kind of breaking down that wall where like she's like standoffish and stuff. Where she's finally starting to like trust people a little bit more. So.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying her character. I thought her acting in that scene with Mern dying was really, really good. Really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the cow reveal. I was kind of like blown away by
oh my God,
the giant ass alien. I was expecting like not that. I don't know what
not
I was
at all.
expecting.
No,
but it's just like the biggest fucking abomination you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I mean,
sitting below that farm.
That's what I was left with at the end of this episode. I'm like, how are they gonna beat that? That's enormous. Like, dude, I know it looks like a giant baby.
Yo, did I not call like Vigilante coming in and saying there's gaps in the armor?
You did say it.
I did. Totally say, I said he was gonna kill him though, but no. He totally saw that.
That would have been satisfying, but I mean, we got the ultimate satisfaction with his death, Augie's death. But yeah, I love that coming back and you being right about that. Like, I told you there were gaps in the armor, and he like stabs him. Like, I love how badass Vigilante is.
He's so cool.
Like, he's great, honestly.
Where this, I mean, let's have a strong ending. You know,
Yes.
no mindless action or cameo, maybe a cameo, but let's just like finish strong with these characters that we have.
Please, I have no doubt James Gunn will do it right.
Yeah,
I really don't. But I mean, yeah, that was the one thing that I'm really hyped to see the finale for this, because Peacemaker being so ambiguous, like I don't know anything about that character. I haven't bothered to look into it. Is he really?
Yeah. When he was like beating him down, you remember how he said you slept with horror women or something like that, and men.
Yeah,
he said
did
and
say
men.
that. Yeah,
I'm like, whoa, Peacemaker's bi, sick.
Vigilante.
Him and Vigilante makes sense. I share that.
Oh, dude. But yeah, no, I think that for him being such a random character from comics, like I haven't bothered to do any research on him. Like I have no idea where this story is going to go, and that is the most exciting part about this finale for me.
The thing is, I'm gonna say this right now. Yeah. Unless it completely jumps the shark, and I don't know, like becomes the most horrible ending of all time.
Yeah,
this show stands above Boba Fett for me.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
For me, honestly, already this show is kind of Daredevil tier. Like
that, it's super.
It's really good.
It's superhero TV, and it stands out more than any other show. It's special. It's very very special. We don't get that all that often, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah. Right. I do. Before we move on, I feel like I'm tempting fate by saying this, but I think at this point, Eagly has plot armor. I don't think James Gunn will do it to him.
He will.
I don't think he'll do it to him.
Eagly's gonna die in the next episode.
Please don't, James Gunn.
Called it.
But we can move on to our first set of films here for the Batman countdown. We got the Michael Keaton films, Batman 1989. I'm not sure when the second one came out, but it's Batman Returns, starring Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. What's your for me? I don't remember where you were at, but he landed at number 4 on my list for the Batman.
I don't remember where I put him.
That's fine, but
top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, watching these movies, it really reconfirms the placement for me. I just like, it's enjoyable and it's iconic, but at the same time, I'm just like, it was all right. It was good.
No, Jeremy, see, you're not looking at it the proper way. Let me tell you, this movie came out in 1989. This is like the first live-action Batman film since Adam West. Okay?
True.
Adam West's Batman. The surfing shark repellent Batman. Okay? This is a serious take. I feel like every single new take on Batman, it always starts with, this is a dark take. Like, I mean, it's
getting darker.
It just keeps getting darker, or everyone's just the same amount of dark.
Yeah.
So, but this one, Tim Burton, classic, just weird guy, right? Decided to take on a superhero film, and he just made it all black,
pretty much,
but without the people, because he apparently doesn't like black people in his movies.
Fair enough.
You said fair enough?
Sorry, not fair enough.
Whoa.
Not fair enough. Not fair enough. Not fair enough.
I mean, fair enough, y'all.
Okay, all right.
Unbelievable. You want to retract that statement?
To say. I do want to retract that statement.
Okay, keep going.
But yeah, no, I definitely can see that. It's pretty evident in all of his movies.
He doesn't like the way that skin color goes against his dark background. So he always chooses the palest fucking people of all time to play in his movies.
Honestly, I've just kind of heard that Tim Burton is just a mean person.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I will say, his Bruce Wayne moments don't particularly land for me.
No.
Not at all. I mean, I like him as Batman, and again, it's iconic. But my biggest likes about these two movies, just sum up, Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Jack Nicholson.
That's
my God, he carries.
That's really
straight carries, bro.
Honestly, that's the only thing about these movies that really stand out as super good quality to me.
I mean, what would you give this movie on 1 to 10 on our scale? What would you give it?
I would probably give that first Batman an 8.
That would it's in that 8 range for me.
Yeah, and I mean Batman Returns kind of drops not considerably, but a little bit, probably at that 7.4, 7.5 area. Because I mean, I'm just
there's actually I wanted to bring this up because I wrote it down. So in the first Batman, there's a lot of killing. Like this Batman does a lot of killing with his Batmobile. He has machine guns and rockets like shooting everywhere and stuff.
He does.
So like at one point when he's like the streets are just going crazy, right?
Of course.
Like oh, is this the first one or the second one?
The third act where Jack Nicholson's like going down the parade.
Oh no, I must be talking about the second.
The second one? Are you talking about the one where like the people are like coming out of presents and stuff?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
second one. Yeah.
That's the second one. Okay, yeah, I got confused for a second. But yeah, first one it just kind of set that standard that I think that we saw like 10 years later in the first Spider-Man Raimi films, where it's just like it can be dark and gritty, and it can be just good. It can be a good movie.
Yeah, again, one of the things I didn't notice when we went into this, like, it is just getting darker every single time.
Yeah.
Like, this Batman film, I would say it looks the darkest coming out. Like,
It's so dark. Oh my god! All right, let's move on to number 2.
Batman Returns. There are a lot of reasons this movie doesn't work for me at all.
Whoa. Okay. What is that?
They're all Danny DeVito.
The Penguin.
Oh shit! I like
Bro,
Catwoman
he transforms
a lot
in that
this
role.
movie.
He transforms.
He does. I think that I get it. He's a disturbing character, and it's a disturbing take. But this just made me plain uncomfortable. Like this was just a little too far for me. Too gross.
Can you imagine kids watching this?
Yeah, I watched it when I was kind of a kid. Like I was like 11 or 12 when I first saw this movie.
You're like, oh,
like this is
no,
gross. Like I'm
thank
watching
you.
a grown man eat a fish.
oh my god, he has that like
fish.
goop coming out of his mouth.
It's gross, man.
So
It's
bad.
really gross. Like and again I get it. Filmmaking choice, make him a gross character. He's unsettling. Like I get it, but it's just like too far, way too far, man.
I think my favorite part. Batman Returns is just. There's a reason they didn't make a third one. Like Tim Burton, like I think, or the studio wanted a third one because it was so successful, right?
In a trilogy, you always want
Yeah,
a trilogy.
it's 3 is always three is a magic number kind of thing, you know. But I feel like there are problems within this movie that seem small but are like actually huge, you know.
Yeah.
In the real sense, where it's like I didn't feel like Michael Keaton was as crazy about this one as he was about the last one, because there are some crazy takes in this movie, specifically with the Penguin and stuff, where you're like, okay.
I like a lot of his Batman
And
moments.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
And Catwoman being like totally insane.
I didn't hate Catwoman in this
I
movie,
like
honestly.
Catwoman is usually
She
like
was pretty good.
she kind of usually matches like the vibe of Batman, like, oh, we're like vigilantes in a way.
That's
But this
true.
one, she's just straight up like
She's kind of like a zombie. Yeah.
like some sort of like witch or something like that.
I mean, she's like, her whole character is driven by revenge for, I can't remember his name, but like the business tycoon, like it's all driven for revenge.
Yeah.
Like,
Revenge story.
And I mean, it's really good. Like I like Catwoman a lot. I think her storyline's pretty unique in this compared to what we usually get, which is that kind of parallel. But I mean, I just this movie doesn't work for me. Like,
this one
just,
was like a 7.2 for me.
Yeah,
7.2.
it's just it's not bad. Again,
No.
it's just a little on the lower tier.
Yeah, I have some
I'm not a fan.
some Easter eggs to talk about though.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first one is when they're in the streets and like Batman's taking down those criminals and stuff like that.
Which one? Okay.
Yeah, it's like there's actually a reference in the background.
Oh, there is.
There's a reference because like they're wearing masks and they're wearing like crazy stuff, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. In the background, there's actually like a reference to another very popular franchise, Jeremy.
What's that?
Someone is wearing a Darth Vader helmet.
Really?
Someone is wearing a Darth Vader
Are
helmet.
you telling me there's like one of the random criminals running around? They're just wearing a Darth Vader.
Darth Vader helmet.
Like a
It's-
whole.
Yeah, just the helmet, none of like the cape or anything, but yeah, they have the Darth Vader helmet
That's
on.
surprising. I'm gonna go back and look for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone watching, go back and look at that for sure.
I would love
But
to.
the other one that I want to see, it's so funny, the eye makeup part that I'm very excited to see in like this upcoming Batman film, 2022. The eye makeup thing was like so like hidden, and they didn't want anyone to know that Batman was wearing eye makeup.
Yeah.
And you remember when he rips off his mask? He like rips off the rubber. It's like he starts ripping off the rubber in one shot, and then they cut to like Catwoman, or I think it is, right?
Yeah.
And then they cut back, eye makeup's gone.
Yeah.
And then he takes it off. He's like, no eye makeup, just Michael Keaton's face. You're like, wait, how are his eyes all black around?
Because I mean, it's easy to see, right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, the eye holes in Keaton's
It's
costume
big.
is huge.
They're big.
Like you can really see that
But
his
I think
eyes are
it's-
colored.
I think
in.
it's so funny that they had to do some movie magic and just like cut it before you could see his eye
Not
makeup.
the eye makeup. We
They're
can't
like,
see it.
Then don't wear makeup. They can't see that.
I'm just like, what's the point of that?
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah,
I
go
do
back,
enjoy.
go back and look for you know, that little eye makeup thing or whatever. It's like it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, he just takes off the mask, but also you're like, his eye makeup, and also the Darth Vader helmet. You got to look back for that one.
I do want to. I am gonna go back. And
Yeah,
look
you got to
at
go
Darth
back and
Vader
look for that one.
helmet.
I'll put it up in
Interesting.
the video, a little clip of it. But yeah, you can see it. All right, let's move on to
That might have been too quiet for the mic to pick up.
Oscar picks.
Oscar
We're
picks.
moving on to
We're doing
Oscar picks.
Okay,
Right.
so I am just gonna read off categories, read off the names real quick, and we're just gonna give our picks. Okay, we're not gonna talk too much about everything because there are, like a lot of people, there are a lot of movies on here Ben and I have not seen. Like, we have not seen Coda at all.
What the fuck is that film?
I have no idea.
No clue.
But anyway, we're gonna start with actor in a leading role. We've got Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I want to see Andrew Garfield win it.
Me too.
I want to see
have
it.
Andrew. I
see it.
want Andrew Garfield to win, right? But
Do you think Will Smith will take it?
yeah, I mean, they love their. Oh wait, I keep forgetting that Andrew Garfield is a bio. Like Tick Tick Boom is a biopic.
It is, yeah.
I wanted to say like, oh, the Oscars love the fucking biopic.
They
But
do.
That is true. I want Andrew Garfield to win, but I don't know.
I do think, I will say, I want Andrew Garfield to win. I think Will Smith will win.
You think Will Smith
King Richard, his performance in King Richard was really, really good. Really good. All right, actor in a supporting role. We've got, I don't know how to pronounce that name, actually. It's a supporting character for Belfast. Last name is Hines. Ciaran is my guess. Troy Kotsur for Coda. Jesse Plemons for Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos. And Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog.
Let's just say not Bradley Cooper and not Jared Leto.
Yeah, okay, agreed. But I don't know.
Wait, was Jared Leto
what's that?
nominated?
No.
Oh, I don't know why I said Jared Leto.
Like,
Why did I say Jared Leto?
I just agreed because I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but all right.
Yeah, not Jared Leto.
No, I mean, I'm plain to see why he didn't get nominated for this.
Yeah.
But
Very true.
I really don't know with this category. I mean, I've only seen The Power of the Dog on this list out of Belfast, Coda, and Being the Ricardos. I haven't seen those movies. I don't think Jesse Plemons really deserves he's in it for like 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes at the most.
Supporting role, man.
I mean, yeah, but like his character doesn't really do much.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is, from what I've seen about like Belfast,
yeah,
this is all just. There's no educated guess here.
No.
This is just me going on my gut feeling.
Sure.
I think the person from Belfast is gonna win that.
You think so?
I think they're gonna win it.
I guess I'll go with Cody Smith McPhee from Power of the Dog because it's the only one I've seen, and he was pretty good in that movie.
All right.
For actress in a leading role, we've got Jessica Chastain in Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer.
Yo, quick question. You see any of these movies?
I saw a little bit of Spencer. I do know I'm picking Kristen Stewart for this category.
Okay.
I do think she can probably win it.
I'm picking Nicole Kidman because she pops up. She pops up in the AMC.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
the AMC little trailer
Bad, yeah.
telling me to go to AMC when I'm sitting in AMC.
Of course.
And it's
doesn't
so
say
stupid
anything
because I know that bitch doesn't go to AMC.
Bro.
So that's how good at acting
my
she
gosh.
is. She makes me want to go to AMC when she won't go herself.
Actress in a leading role, yeah, I'm going with Kristen Stewart. I think she's getting a lot of buzz for me. That's the only reason. I really think she might deserve it this year. Who do you have? You have Nicole Kidman.
I have Nicole Kidman. Being the Ricardos, that's the I Love Lucy movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biopic.
For actress in a supporting role, we've got Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ingenue Ellis for King Richard. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. I'm again gonna go with The Power of the Dog, the only one I've seen out of these.
You know what? Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kirsten Dunst, but she was actually really good in this movie. Like she was good. Like she plays this kind of this mom that kind of falls into drunken habits. Like, and she portrays it very well. Like wholly believable the whole time.
Right.
Animated feature film, we've got Encanto,
Encanto. Me encantó.
Flea,
Me encantó.
Luca,
I'm choosing Encanto.
The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh my god.
I
Mitchell's Machines.
I have been waiting for Mitchells versus the Machines to get this nomination because I want them to win so bad.
That movie was so good.
It was I love that movie so much. It really quickly became a comfort movie. It tells such a satisfying family tale. It really does.
I thought it was going to be some cringe millennial tale about technology.
Me too.
But then it was like actually like good.
It just has so much heart.
Yeah,
I can't help but
so
like
much
this
heart.
movie, honestly. For cinematography, I think this one's kind of a known-brainer, but
Macbeth.
of course. But Macbeth is on there, Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side
What are
Story,
you choosing?
Power of the Dog, Nightmare Alley, and Dune. I'm going with Dune.
I mean, Dune has good visual effects, but the cinematography is
I'm going with Dune.
cinematography is what you do on camera, Jeremy,
Oh, is it?
not in post on a computer. So I'm saying Macbeth is going to win. that
Okay.
one. Is that right, guys? Okay, no response. Thank you.
No, I'm definitely going with Dune.
You're going Dune?
I mean, yeah, visual effects. It'll probably take that category for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I really satisfying like camera work in Dune. I loved every single shot in that movie. Honestly,
Say what you will.
maybe it's just me. Sorry.
You're wrong.
Costume design. We've got Cruella, Serrano, Dune.
I said Dune.
Nightmare Alley and
I
West
said
Side
Dune.
Story.
I said Dune.
I think Dune as well.
Dune.
For
You can't beat sci-fi fucking costumes.
You really can't. I mean, when it's done that well,
Yeah,
it really
for
was
real.
done very well. For directing, we've got Belfast, which is Kenneth Branagh. Drive My Car, Ryusuke Hamaguchi. Licorice Pizza by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Not that one.
The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, and West Side Story by Steven Spielberg. Yeah, Ben does not like Licorice Pizza.
I hated Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, he hates that movie.
Terrible film. That is real. That is truly not cinema.
Yeah.
That is not cinema.
For directing, I think Steven Spielberg actually has a shot here. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see this movie, but it got really good reviews.
Yeah.
Like, people liked this movie a lot. So, I mean, hey, maybe he gets it. I don't see anyone else really
Is
standing
it
out on
Steven
this.
Spielberg who's in that Oscar stat where it's like he's been thanked more than God
Yes.
in Oscar
Yes,
speeches?
he has, yeah.
What does he do when he gets up there? Does he say God
I
a
don't
couple
know.
times?
I don't know.
try to
honestly.
even the odds.
Maybe.
I'll say Steven Spielberg because I know his name.
Yeah, because I know his name. For documentary, I'm going to recommend we skip this category.
Skip it. We don't know it.
We
We're
don't-
just guessing.
we
at
just
this
really
point.
don't know.
Let's move on to like the big categories, like picture,
Let's see.
picture editing.
You want to do film editing?
Yeah, let's do film editing.
Don't Look Up, Dune,
Maybe.
King Richard, Power of the Dog, and Tick Tick Boom.
I love Tick Tick Boom's editing. I love
Yeah,
it.
I think it's really good.
I thought
and
Don't Look Up was
It was kind of mid.
it.
Maybe a
editing
little
didn't
less than
stand
mid.
out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Tick Tick Boom is also. Is that your pick?
Yeah,
I think that's
Tick
my
Tick Boom.
pick. Yeah.
Tick Tick Boom.
Let's see. Music. You want to do the score?
Yeah, score.
Okay. Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. I'm going with Encanto. Like
You're going
Dune,
Encanto?
Dune is really good, and it tonally.
Score?
Yeah,
Or
score.
soundtrack? Score?
Oh,
going-
I see. Score doesn't reference the songs in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if we're talking about score and not soundtrack, yeah, I definitely think that Dune kind of takes that category easily. Then,
Dune. Give it to Dune. Let's move on.
for sure. Music for original song. Do you want to do this one?
It's Encanto.
Yeah, it's Encanto. For best picture, I think this is like the one that we
There's
really
like
have
10
left
movies,
that we
right?
like.
There's 10 movies. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. For Best Picture, we have Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, somehow got a nomination. I don't really see
I
why.
had to see it.
Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, which I was surprised to see on here. I didn't think Nightmare Alley was going to get a nomination for Best Picture.
Bro, you don't know, bro.
Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
I've heard people say West Side Story.
I'd be kind of
But
disappointed.
I've heard
honestly.
people say West Side Story,
Yeah.
but when man, it's like I don't think Coda has the name or like reputation to be like Best Picture,
Yeah.
kind of, because the Oscars like to pick. It's like a combination of both, like
Yeah.
reputation and quality.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think it might be Power of the Dog. I honestly think it might be Power of
I
the
don't
Dog.
want it to be.
I don't want it to be.
honest.
Jeremy, the Oscars don't care what we like.
That's true.
It's just
I
a
mean,
circle jerk of celebrities going, "Aren't we so good?"
Yeah, I guess so. But
So-
I mean, yeah, I just Power of the Dog. Like I watched it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It wasn't anything super special for me. I don't always.
It has the most nominations out of anyone. So
Yeah. But I mean, it just like I maybe just don't like westerns. But I mean, yeah, I just Power of the Dog. I guess if I'm picking what I want to win,
Mhm.
I'll probably pick Nightmare Alley. Honestly, like
I'll pick Dune.
you picked Dune.
I would want Dune to win. No way.
I would love for a sci-fi.
No way they
movie
put
to,
like
to
sci-fi
win.
fantasy up on that standard. Like, oh my god, everyone.
Hey, if
Even-
any movie to do it though, I think this
Dune.
one has a lot of film
Dune,
appeal
for
too.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've got just I'm gonna run through these categories
Okay.
because we're running a little long here. We'll
Mhm.
see if we want to predict for any production design,
No, I can't speak on any of that.
Mm.
That's just guessing.
animated short film,
Don't know.
live action short film,
Don't know.
sound,
Don't know.
visual effects.
Give me Spider-Man.
I'm going with Dune.
It's probably gonna be Dune.
Yeah, I
It's
just
like Dune and then every Marvel movie ever.
Yeah, there are some moments in Spider-Man where I'm like, I
That's
don't
bad.
know, that's a little too rounded. Like,
Especially when Andrew Garfield lands with Zendaya. He just
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, I'm just like,
So good. All right. Well, what else is there of any importance?
writing, adapted screenplay, original
Oh,
screenplay, and
original
that's it.
screenplay.
Original.
Yeah. What's it?
We've got Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. I'm going with King Richard here. I think
What was the first?
the first one, Belfast.
Belfast is gonna win it.
You think Belfast?
Belfast is gonna win it.
Okay.
Here first.
Well,
Well, is that gonna do it for us?
yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That's all. That's all of our Oscar picks.
That's everything.
That's
Why
everything.
did that camera stop again?
Hey,
Damn it.
it's fine. It's
Whatever.
fine.
We're gonna see you next week. All right. Remember to follow us on social media. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor FM.
Twitter, Instagram,
Boom.
yeah,
Everything is good.
YouTube,
Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to be talking about the Nolan Batman films
Nolan.
and
Oh wait,
Uncharted.
sorry, correction. We're not Nolan yet. We
Not?
are jumping into Batman Forever
Oh,
and
shit.
Batman and Robin, the
Damn
Val
it,
Kilmer
Jeremy.
and George Clooney. I know,
God damn
but
it.
yeah. Next week we've got I know just two things that we have coming. We have that and Uncharted comes out this
Uncharted.
week, and
Hey.
we'll likely have a little guest star. Little guest star for you.
All right. Well, that's going to be it.
All right.
Have a good day.
See you guys
Bye.
next week. Bye.